Hello, everyone. This is Pastor Tammy. I'm excited tonight. We are ramping up again. We are on our last spotlight tonight, and I'm excited to have these authors join me, these co authors join me in our fifth book. Can you believe it? If you've been on this journey with us, we started in 2020. We started with volume one. It is now 2022, and we are now on our fifth book. This is such an exciting time. So, tonight, without further ado, I'm going to bring co author Lorraine Smith, co author Deborah McIntyre, and returning author Lisa Thomas L. So, let's bring these ladies up. Wonderful. This is so exciting. I know that they are excited. I'm excited to be coming to you again. Destined to Win, Volume 5. It crushed me, but I survived. Woo! What a powerful topic that is. Ladies, are you excited tonight? Come on, let's hear you. Are you
Yeah,
excited?
very excited.
Okay.
Woo! What a journey and what a time. That's right. You have every right to be excited, especially you new
Absolutely.
authors.
Yes.
Did we lose? Mm-mm.
What a
That's how
great
excited she
time
is
for
about
having
this.
troubles. Just give us a few seconds. Okay, there we go. Well, we're back. We're back. You know, the internet has to do what it wants to do. So we are back. There we go. So, Deborah Thornhill McIntyre. Yes, my mother's namesake. Tell us who you are, cousin Deborah. The name. How did you get connected to Destined to Win? The name of your chapter, and what is it that you hope people will take from reading this book?
Okay. You're breaking up, but I don't know if you can hear me or not. Can you hear me?
You're good.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm Deborah Thornhill McIntyre, and right now I'm at the Thornhill family reunion that we have going on right now. Um, but I am excited about this opportunity. I live in Loganville, Georgia, and I became acquainted with the book through, of course, my cousin Tammy. And when she asked me to do this, I was kind of like reluctant and scared, but I said, well, I'm going to go for it. And the name of my chapter is Unequally Yoked. And it's about a marriage gone wrong that nearly crushed me, as the book says. The title of the book is. It nearly crushed me, but thank God I survived, and I came out on the end uh, better and more fulfilled and happy than I had ever been. And um, it took God to do that. I had kind of steered away from my salvation because I just wanted this to be married, and it wasn't the right one for me. And what I had learned through this is that you have to heed warnings. I had a warning before I stepped into this, but no, I had to do it anyway. And I paid for it. So I learned that I had to, heed warnings. The other thing is that I learned during this process from a very wise psychologist that just happened to be working with me on a project is that you can't change another person. So that's something else that I learned. You can't change anybody else. Your only changing you can do is to yourself. And going back and getting back after 11 years in touch with God, and um, just learning through that He never left, and that He's going to carry you through, and you come out on the other end a lot better, even in a better situation with the person that caused you all the problems. So those are my lessons, and I have the prayer that you hear the alcoholics use, that God grant me the serenity to accept the things that I can't change, the wisdom to change the things that I can. Well, you know it. I've got it all messed up right now, but grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, the wisdom to change things that I can, and the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. That's it. So that's what I live by now, and also that I can do all things through Christ, which strengthens me. So that's my takeaway from the book, and I'm excited for it to be read. And thank you for the opportunity, Tammy.
Absolutely. And one of the things that I love that you want people to take away from reading your chapter is the fact that we can't change anyone. And I think a lot of times we get into relationships and we think, I'm the one that can change this person. I'm the one. They married me, so I'm the one. And that's not it. And I love the name of your title because the Bible tells us that, we should not be unequally yoked with folks if they're not on that same wave with us. So I think that your title is going to be amazing for people who are engaged or looking to get married. They will read your chapter and see the things that they need to, like you said, the warning sign. So thank you so much, cousin Deborah. I know you're at our family reunion, and so we're going to let you go and go ahead and enjoy the festivities. We love you, and thank you for being a part of this journey.
And thank you, ladies.
Absolutely. Good
Love you
night.
all.
Okay. All right. This is wonderful. So we heard from co-author Deborah. Powerful title. I love it already. So let's hear from the veteran. Well, no, let's hear from the veteran. Come on in here, Lisa Thomas M. Tell us where you at, and the name of your chapter, and of course how you connected to Destined to Win, and then what is it that you want someone to take from reading your chapter. Take it away, veteran.
All right, all right, all right. Good evening, everyone, and I'm so grateful for this point right here. You know, truly, my name is Lisa Thomas L. I currently reside in Atlantic City, New Jersey. New Jersey in the house. Um, and and this is actually what, my third or fourth chapter within the Destined to Win. And how did I come about this? Through my mother. Fourth. Wow. Wow. I'm so grateful, right, for my mom who saw something in me that needed to be shared. And she wanted to do this project together, right? And so, because she was in one. She was in the very first one, Healing Within, Sally Marks, right? So, and then, but yet, unfortunately, due to being diagnosed with stage 4 cancer and her like rapidly transitioning over, we were never able to come together and do the chapters together. And I'm so grateful to Pastor Tammy for seeing something even more in me and reaching out to me and asking me like to be a part of this. And like I haven't turned back yet. Like I thought I was just gonna come in and do a chapter and keep it moving. And I've even, you know, sent other people and said, listen to your story. But it seemed to come right back to this, right? And so me and my mother do get the opportunity to do this together. You know, she's always shows up with me in spirit. I'm always feeling her presence. And so instead of me grieving the loss of her, I get to celebrate the life of her within my chapters. So I said, I'm going to grieve out loud. And instead of sitting around saying, oh my God, I lost my mother, but like I feel her on such a bigger level that now I get to celebrate. I don't want to just remember her, her last days because she lived such an enormous life. She touched so many hearts. I would do her a disservice just focusing on her dying days. So my chapter is called Looking for Validation in All the Wrong Places. Listen, the Spirit just pressed that upon my heart. And not only was this chapter a chapter that I had to go dig deeper, like this was like none other. Like the other ones that I did came to me and it was just like, okay, this is I could do this, I could do this. But this chapter dig deep. Like it looked at some of my patterns of behavior where I was looking for validation. Like you're talking about getting married, thinking that I'm going to do all the things that we've kind of been conditioned and programmed to do. This is going to fulfill me and make me happy, right? Go to school, get my master's degree, become a therapist, do all the things, become a wife, a mother, do all the things that I thought would make me feel the hole that was resided within me. And I know some people will say, "Well, what about going to church?" And did that, and felt like there was something missing, a deeper connection that was missing within me. And so when I quiet down long enough to see that all of those things, not my children, not the position, not the job, not what everybody told me God was, not all the stuff outside of me no longer was able to fulfill me, I went into that quiet place with just me and God and said, who am I really? I know who everybody had told me I am. I know I'm somebody's daughter. I know I'm somebody's mother. I know I'm somebody's employee. I know I'm this. I know I'm that. But truly, who am I? And so, looking for validation in all the wrong places was this discovery of my true, authentic self. So, what do I want the readers to take from that? Right? I have talked about this chapter with other people. Just the title alone, no matter what culture you was in. I did an engagement to a group of Hispanic women and it resonated with them. I've talked to men and it resonated with them. So many, like it's so broad that everybody, like I haven't come across anybody that said like this said, oh I don't get that. Just the connection. And I just want the readers to get that connection and understanding like there is something far greater in you. There is something that not just the roles we play, but there's a greater aspect that God is seeking you to develop within yourself. To like just be. We've been looking outside thinking, oh, this person is going to be the love of my life and they're going to fill my cup. Your cup is full. You are the love. You don't have to look outside of yourself for that seal of approval. See, I was always looking for the approval, looking for the validation, thinking, okay, because of my addiction, let me get my degree, and that's going to make me validated. They're going to accept me more because I now have a degree. They're going to accept me more now because I'm married. They're going to accept me more, and all along, not being able to accept myself. So, if anything, I just want to give the readers some hope, some courage, let you know that you're not alone. You're not alone in this thing. Right? There's something far greater within you to be nourished, to be fulfilled. And it doesn't like, at the point that I am, all my kids is grown. All my kids is grown and all this stuff, I used to call it the empty nest syndrome. Things changed in my life. So after I got the degree, after I got, all my kids is grown, and after, having the positions and all that, and then losing all that, losing everything, I was left with me. I was left with the question of who am I really? Not just the roles that I play, but who am I really? So my hopes is that this journey takes you on a discovery of yourself. Who am I really? You asking God, who am I really? Not nobody else, but who am I really? There's so much more of us. So much more of us. You ain't even tapped into that. Writing as an author, listen, I tapped into some parts of me that I didn't know exist. I heard it said one time that people that just write a chapter is pretty lazy. They should just write a book. And I said, well, congratulations to whoever wrote the book. However, I know too many people that want to write, they would be honored to write a chapter. There's some great folks who have written a chapter. So don't diminish your light because someone else thinks it's just not big enough. I'm here to tell you, right? It starts with a sentence. It starts with a word. It starts with a sentence. It starts with a paragraph. It ends with a chapter. Yes, let's do this. Yeah, I'm done.
We could just listen to Lisa all not like Lisa could
Right?
just wow. But that title alone, that title looking for validation in all the wrong places, that title alone is going to be an eye opener, I believe, for someone else because um people don't understand how we can just be wanting to be validated from folks that don't even have the authority to validate us. Come on, somebody.
Absolutely.
We're trying,
Yes.
we ain't trying to turn this into a church service, but let me just say this. It is so important for us to understand that once you got, like you said, once they start looking in, they're going to learn that, honey, it's inside of you. So I believe that what I'm feeling about your chapter is that somebody, because folks didn't know is that you are a licensed therapist. So I feel like when someone reads your chapter, they're actually going to be having a therapy session with you. That's the vibe I'm getting. That's the vibe I'm getting. That's the vibe I'm getting. I'm just being honest. I'm just being
Yeah.
honest. I think that they're going to have a session with themselves to understand that we don't need validation from as long as the man upstairs, puts that stamp on us and puts that seal on us. That's all we need. So thank you so much, Lisa. This old
Yes.
veteran, honey. She around here writing book at the book at the book at the book. But I love it because she says she's continuing the legacy of our beautiful angel who is now watching over us, her
Yes.
mom,
Yes.
Sally Marks. We love her. We miss her. We miss her wisdom. And she's the pioneer. She's a pillar of this thing. She took a chance um on us in this journey. And now look, her daughter is a prolific writer. So I'm so grateful to have you be a part of this.
Yes.
Okay, so let's move to my hometown. Let's move to my hometown. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
Boston, Massachusetts.
Yes,
My
sir.
sister in Christ, Lorraine. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Lorraine, hey
Mm-hmm.
sis. So
Hey.
talk to us. Talk to us. Tell us
Yes, my name's
Well, I already said where you're from, so tell us the name of your chapter, and then tell
uh-huh.
us how you got connected, and then tell us like what do you hope
Hmm.
folks will take from your chapter.
Okay, so the name of my chapter is Turning Pain into Power and Purpose. And I am connected to Destined Wind through you, Pastor Tammy, that I met years ago at Greater Faith Worship Center. My chapter is about loss of a child that I experienced, being in a bad marriage that was verbally abusive, and really not really having family, not a good relationship with my family. And those were, I think, the hardest thing for me was being in a verbally abusive is just as bad as it messes with your mental. But even if it's not physical, any abuse is not acceptable. So I want my readers to take from my story is I had to have a relationship with God. That was the first step of getting out of my marriage and just really trying to change my life and holding on to the faith that He's able to do all things. And I trusted God. And when I did that and built my relationship, started going to church, I started seeing God move in my favor. So I don't want anybody to ever give up or feel like they don't know their self worth because your past don't dictate your future, and you should never be somewhere where you're comfortable. So I felt like in my relationship, I stayed stuck because I got comfortable in it as if it was normal, and there was nothing normal about what was going on in my life at that time. And I think my experience also is this is an opportunity for me that I'm grateful for you, and I'm grateful for Shiro Publishing because I don't think I was healed from everything that I went through. I needed that healing. And although it was hard to go back and write about your past, I started to heal from it, which is a great thing because lots of times we don't always want to deal with things. We sweep it under the rug or keep it in the closet. But I'm not ashamed of anything I've been through. And my story, I hope it helps a lot of women to get through difficult times that they're going through in their life.
And tell us what was the name of your chapter. I think I missed
Did
that
I get
one.
it? Oh, sorry. It's turning pain into power and purpose.
Wow,
And,
turning
yeah, and what?
pain.
Yes, and when I thought about it, because I let my husband take control of my life, and I had to take back control.
Mm,
Yeah.
mm. And so you're saying that you by writing, I can you talk a little
Hmm.
bit? We got a few minutes. So can you
Yes.
talk a little bit about
Hmm.
that healing part of writing?
Yeah. So I really wanted to give up writing because it was hard. Because you're going back into your past and you don't really want to remember the things that happened. But every day that I was writing, I was feeling like I'm becoming stronger. I was feeling like this is my therapy and I don't even know it. You know what I
Mm,
mean? I was like, these ladies just gave me an opportunity for my healing to start because I needed that. I really needed that healing. And even though it was hard and even though it was days that I was crying, it gave me comfort and it gave me peace. Things that I didn't have because I didn't look back at what was going on. Even though I came out of it, I still needed that peace. So it was a process that I'm happy that I went through. And I would encourage anybody, even though we go through things that we don't always want to remember, but we don't seek the help that we need through a therapist. We don't talk to anybody because we was always raised to keep that in the closet, not to talk about certain
mhm,
things. So
mhm,
by me writing
mhm,
it out, that began my healing process. And I'm a lot stronger now than I was before.
mhm,
So I
mhm.
thank you for the opportunity. You are helping so many women. You're opening so many doors. And I'm like, oh my God, this is it's such a blessing. And I'm grateful for it.
Mm.
Hmm.
I really thank you for that. And of course, to God be all the glory because when He
Hmm.
told me to start it, I had no idea that we would be up to 90 something authors. You know, I
Right.
just knew that. the pain that I was in, I had to get it out. And like I was telling people, you all helped me tremendously when I was in my pain. It's like you have to create this community of people to help you heal. So thank you so much, um, Lorraine. Thank you so much for being a part of this. And I believe, again, your chapter is going to be so powerful to women, because I love the title alone is you're turning your pain into power and purpose. Because a lot of times when we go through, we kind of sit in it and we don't use it to empower others to say, hey, I came out, God healed me, I came out. Let me show you, let me help you come out. So I know that your chapter is going to be powerful. So thank you so much. I'm trying to see if Lotus is ready. Are you ready, Lotus? We have co-author Lotus. Okay, here she is. Co-author Lotus, thank you so much for being a part of this project. So tell us where you're from, how you got connected to Destined to Win, the name of your chapter, and what do you hope others will take from reading your chapter?
Well, first off, my name is Lotus Wilson. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, but I moved to Durham, North Carolina last year. How I got connected to Destined to Win, a glorious part of my life was actually one of my coworkers whose husband is a pastor at his church. They were having actually a symposium for bishop elects to come along. And it just so happens that another young lady that actually was in one of your previous books had overheard my testimony, and she came to me and she said, well, I think that you'd be a great fit for this project. Now, I'll admit, I was a little scared because one of the biggest things I was afraid of was being judged or being looked at in some type of way because of what I went through in my journey. But she said, no worries. Actually, you are going to be a person that can speak out on your issue and talk about how brave it is to change your narrative. Um, as far as the title of the chapter that I have, it was called I Struggled with the Disease to Please. Now I am at ease. So that that was something. um, what I feel people can get out of this is to understand that we are all human. We all have feelings. And the reality of the situation is I doubted myself and I doubted, you know, my involvement with my creator until I saw the light of what was going on with me. It wasn't a thing where I looked at myself as being somebody that feel like there's something wrong, but I had to deal with what was called radical acceptance, accepting the situation for what it was until I can change it. So I had to change my narrative, I had to change my thought process, and I had to understand I don't have to settle for anything. For what I know is with my creator, my God is all merciful in word and deed. So I had to take a walk out on faith to say, hey, I don't know what I'm going to do with these kids. I don't have a job. I don't have any degrees. I don't have anything. But when I took that walk on faith, I went from having nothing to getting 2 bachelor's degrees, working on a master's. I went from being unemployed to working with one of the biggest surgeons in the South, um, where, like I said in the end of my chapter, to be continued, because I didn't want it to be a thing where it was like what I like to call a sitcom mentality, where you present a problem, and then you have a solution, and then boom, it's over. Always life going, always. And I appreciate the fact that I was able to be a part of something great. And I appreciate you, Pastor Tammy, for allowing me to put how I was feeling at one particular point in my life on paper, you know, and be able to have people hear my story and understand where I'm coming from and ask for more.
I'm te- Let me tell you, let me just say, This one, woo, we got some stories. Well, I mean, we have, it's so. And again, thank you so much, Lotus. I'm just an awe. I know you all tell me all the time that you're so blessed to be a part of this project, but I'm in awe that God would entrust me to handle the delicacy of the things that you all have been through. And it is not easy to write, to go, like Lorraine said, that it wasn't easy to go back because that's stuff that we have tucked away in the subconscious part of our mind to try to move through life with carrying that stuff. And so to be able to bear yourself and be that transparent, to put it in the book for the world to see, because we do know that this is going to be a nationwide, worldwide book, right? um it's a beautiful thing. And we have to be mindful of the word of God that says that we overcome by the word of our testimony. If we want people to get set free, if we want people to be healed and delivered, we have to share our story. We cannot just, we grew up in that era. I know I grew up in that era. What happens in this house stays in this house. You don't let nobody know your business. You can No, baby, tell your business, because if God allowed you to survive it, it means that he wants your story to help someone else come out. Ladies, you have no idea. I'm feeling the power of God right now, because the fact that we are saying we are not ashamed of the things we've gone through. We are saying that we want to be healed and free. And the way to do that sometimes is to share your story. I'm a therapist. And one of the things that I highly recommend for my clients is to journal, to write that stuff down, get it out. And that's what you're doing. You're taking the time, the moment to get it out. Wonderful. Now, Lotus, tell me, what is it that you want someone to take from reading your chapter?
Understanding that you can walk on faith because you have the creator behind you. When in doubt, just seek your higher power. You know, understand that all things presented are
Mm-hmm.
a test to see how strong you are spiritually as well as mentally and emotionally. What I also got from this that I hope other people get is to change the narrative of, instead of setting a goal, set an objective.
Come on.
Because a goal is a means to an end versus an objective is ongoing, right? Because if you have a goal and you don't meet it, then you disappoint yourself. But
Yes.
if you have an objective,
Mhm.
then you can never disappoint yourself because you're forever going and you're forever evolutionizing and you're forever growing.
Mhm.
So, what I want people to take away from this chapter is to change the narrative from goal to objective, to always understand that education comes from the cradle to the grave and it doesn't stop at any particular point if you don't allow it to stop, right? Um, Being in my chapter and writing it, I can tell you that I got really emotional about it because I had took it back, right? And I had to kind of like word it a certain way so it doesn't come off as me being bitter, because I'm not.
Mhm.
But I want folks to understand that at one point in your life, you're going to fall down. But the reality of it is life is circular. It's not linear, right?
Mhm.
It's a
Mhm.
thing where you're going to go up, then you're going to go down, and you're going to go back up
Mhm.
again. As
Mhm.
long as life draws breath, you'll always have a chance to do better.
Come on. Come on. That's good. That's good. That's good right there. That's what we're going to close with. That's what we're going to close with. Thank you so much, Lotus. Listen, I'm telling you, you have to get the book. We are pre-launching this Friday. If you are friends with these amazing authors, pay attention to their Facebook page, their author page. They're going to let you know. It's going to be an explosion on Facebook. We're going to break the internet on Facebook. Make sure you get your copy. You should have the Bible and Destined to Win. Those are the two things you need to navigate through life. Come on, somebody. So listen, we are excited about what God is doing in this season. This is a great season. This is a time where we can share our stories and see people transform their lives. I love what she said. Change the narrative. It may have started a certain way, but it doesn't have to end that way. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. I thank these wonderful co-authors, co-author Lisa Thomas L., co-author Lorraine Smith, co-author Lotus, and co-author Deborah McIntyre. Thank you so much, ladies. Now we have part 2 of the spotlight. We have 4 more authors that are going to be presented tonight in about 4 minutes. So please tune in. Thank you so much. And again, we are excited about what God is doing. We also definitely want to thank Shiro Publishing. They've been rocking with us for the last 2 years. They are amazing. If you're thinking about getting your girlfriends together and writing a book, please go to their Facebook page, Shiro Publishing. Get your friends together, get your family together, and write a book of healing to help others. God bless you, and thank you so much for tuning in.